Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. It's round one of the Outcast Racing League playoffs gets underway from Texas Motor Speedway. Woo! These drivers out onto the racetrack here for a little bit of qualifying action. They're getting their laps in right now, trying to set themselves up for a great starting position here in this main feature event. 110 laps, the distance here around Texas Motor Speedway as these drivers get loaded into the sim. They get ready to rock and roll. They get ready to be set loose around this beautiful, beautiful mile-and-a-half racetrack. It's going to be a good show. This is going to be a heck of a race, a heck of a battle here. Round one of the playoffs. And man, this is going to be a good one. Woo! Oh, this is going to be fun, chat. Ho, hoa, hoa, hoa. Oh! Let's go! Shouldn't be this complicated. Thought I'd die in your arms. I thought I'd die in your true love. Shouldn't be this complicated. Woo! All right, Joshua Benton in that Mountain Dew number 69 ride, looking very good, jumping up into the 10th position here in qualifying. Bud Shearer currently with the quickest lap time. Matt Redford, Anthony Garland, and we see Christopher Muse there in 4th. Cameron Dario there in 5th as these drivers are done qualifying. We're going to get ready to set them loose. Our A-main feature event about to get underway. Welcome in yet again another Peacemaker Gaming broadcast as the Outcast Racing League round one of their playoff series about to get underway. Woo! We're going to get right into the action here, chat. We're going to get right into the action as these drivers get loaded into the sim. We're going to get ready here with our starting lineup. As our starting lineup starting to load into the sim down here on pit lane. You can see them starting to load in behind our official iRacing pace car. We're going to get ready to set them loose here in just a few more moments as, man, this is going to be a fun show, man. Texas Motor Speedway, such a fast racetrack, so many quick cars, so many things can happen in an instant here, and these points are very tight right now. We got 2 rounds, so we got 2 races, and then we're going to drop the bottom 4 cars out of the playoffs, and then we're going to do 2 more races, drop the next bottom 4, and then 8 cars in the last race of the season are going to go head-to-head here in our last race of the year for the championship. It's going to be a heck of a battle. It's going to be exciting to watch and see who can jump up there, who can slide themselves into one of those final 8 positions to battle for this championship, as Brock Page currently with the most points in this one with his playoff points and everything else. Brock Page with the top point sitter right now. Brock is in position number 1. Bud Shear about 7 back. Cameron Dario about 7 back as well. Matt Redford, Sean Burke, Mike Killingbeck, Justin Reynolds, Josh Bromfield, Chad Jeffries, Anthony Garland, Al Reed, and Chris Muse are currently all ahead of the cutoff line, but all these drivers from about 11th back to 16th as our top 16 drivers are all tied in points with 19 points back of Brock Page, our so far series leader right now in these playoffs. That includes Johnny Thunders, Colton Manich, Jeffrey Mayers, and Rob Tuwisku. Man, there's a lot of fast cars out here, a lot of good drivers, and we're going to see a great show here by all these cars in this one. We look forward to seeing a great race and a great battle for our first playoff series race of the season. This is going to be a good one, chat. So we're going to get ready here for our starting lineup as these drivers loaded into the sim. We're going to get ready to set them loose. Starting on the pole in the 93 machine, that is Bud Shearer. To his outside in the 71 ride, that is Colton Manich. Starting inside a row number 2 in the 81, that is Anthony Garland. And we see Christopher Muse to his outside. Josh Bromfield. there in 6th with Cameron Dario to his inside, and the Ally number 48 ride starting there in 5th. Joshua Benton, Chad Jeffries, Christopher Pilo, and Justin Reynolds rounding out our top 10. Brock Page, our points leader, there in 11th with Mike Killingbeck, Al Reed, Robert Tuisku, Wayne Garland, Jerry Culver, Sean Burke, James Garland, Johnny Thunders rounding out our field. 19 drivers getting ready to go to battle here as Adam Kilday and Colton Manich not jumping out here to start this race, as we're going to end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are green flag racing here from Texas Motor Speedway, and hang on to it. Matt Redford almost goes around, somehow saved that ride. Drifting there through corner number 1 and 2. Almost went around, almost went for a big spill there on the opening corner of this one. We're going to have to get a look back at that, as holy moly, he had to really hang on to her right there. Let's see if we can get another look at Matt Redford right here, trying to hold on to that 71 ride. We'll see the green flag fly here. He's got the 99 of, I believe that is Muse, right on his back bumper. The 81 ride of Anthony Garland there to his inside, and then it looks like he tries to jump down to the bottom side of the racetrack. That hole clears up. The 81 ride gets into his back bumper. Then he has to hang on to it here, drifting a little bit, just barely avoiding contact there with the 19 ride. Somehow, Redford holds onto that car, keeps it pointed in the right direction, and keeps on rolling. Still out there on the racetrack in about the 13th position underneath the 84 ride of Wayne Garland, trying to work his way back up towards the front, as right now it is the 93 machine of Bud Shearer who leads the way here. Shearer out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done. Anthony Garland in position number 2 with Cameron Dario there in 3rd. Christopher Muse in position number 4. Chad Jeffries there in 5th with Joshua Benton, Josh Bromfield, Al Reed, Christopher Pilo, and Justin Reynolds rounding out our top 10. But here comes Matt Redford, a man on a mission after almost being taken out there on lap number 1. He's already just on the outside of a top 10 looking in here as he's trying to take a look underneath the 94 ride, the RBS machine there of Justin Reynolds. Looks like he's going to give up that bottom spot, and there goes Redford back inside the top 10. Already pulled right up into the inside here, the 15 machine of Christopher Pilo. He's going to get a good run here down the front straightaway. He's going to make that pass on the 15 machine as well. Down here on the bottom side, Pilo really far up high in the racetrack here. Almost up into the no man's land, but looking for some big runs and some high-end momentum here. Trying to run that outside lane. See, so far it looks to be the fastest way. The most grip on the racetrack is right down against that inside line. You saw a little bit of contact there between the 71 machine of Matt Redford and Al Reed. Reed trying to hold on to that thing as here comes the 94 ride of Justin Reynolds. A great battle back here just inside the top 10. Josh Bromfield there in 7th now has the 71 ride to his inside as they're stacked up back here. A little bit of side-by-side action. Some great racing. Brock Page right in the middle of that as well. That bucked up number 92 ride currently in 12th. He is our points leader heading into the first race of the playoffs here for the Outcast Racing League. He's going to get a good run, sneak underneath the 3 ride of Al Reed as well. Move the 92 now up into 11th on the outside of the top 10 looking in. He has his RBS teammates right there in front of him trying to follow them through, and one of their teammates up here at the front of the field, that is Bud Shearer, continuing to lead the way. Anthony Garland, though, has been sticking right there with him, staying right on his back bumper, not letting him get too far away. Cameron Dario having a great run as well in that Alex Bowman paint scheme number 48 ride. He's there in 3rd. Then we see Chad Jeffries and Christopher Muse battle side by side. This is for position number 4 and 5 out here on the racetrack. Joshua Benton there in 6th. And then see that 71 ride of Matt Redford putting down some good lap times here. A very fast car. It's a tough break in that opening lap. That opening lap contact almost going around trying to catch that ride. Unfortunately gave up about 10, 13 positions there. Somewhere around there as he slid all the way back into about the 14th, 15th position. Now the 71 ride trying to battle back. Who was that? That was someone slow there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Maybe the... No, I don't know who that was. Wasn't James Garland. Was it Johnny Thunders maybe? Yeah, it looked like Johnny Thunders slow there on the racetrack down the inside of the 60 ride. So a tough break there for Johnny Thunders as he's back in that 16th position. He's got Wayne Garland right in front of him. Josh Bromfield unfortunately sliding back now as well. He was up inside the top 10 there for the first little bit, but now back into the 14th spot. Christopher Pilo, Mike Killingbeck right there in front of him. Al Reed now up into 11th, trying to find his way back inside the top 10 as he's underneath with Sean Burke, trying to find his way around this 95 ride. Brock Page now up inside the top 10 as well as our points leader. Now up into 9th, looking to try to get some stage points and try to work his way up through the field here. Trying to get a good finish here in the end of stage number 1 as Bud Shearer continues to lead the way. Anthony Garland there in second. Cameron Dario in third as we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. Ladies and gentlemen, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we're going to crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. right as the Crank It Up coming to a close here. Still out in front is that 93 machine of Bud Shearer. Shearer continues to lead the way. Cameron Dario there in second in that Ally number 48 ride as Dario making his way around Anthony Garland for position number 2. Justin Reynolds up into fourth now as a couple of these RBS rides starting to work their way up towards the front, including that 71 ride of Matt Redford. Redford now up into position number 5 on the racetrack here, having himself a heck of a run here after almost spinning out in the opening lap, falling back about 10 to about 12 positions on the racetrack. Redford now back inside the top 5, showing a lot of speed and a lot of patience here in this one. Chad Jeffries right there behind him in the 19 ride. Brock Page there as well. Page in the 92 ride, currently our points leader in the championship. It's Brock there in 7th position on the racetrack. The 99 rider Christopher Muse there in 8th. Al Reed there in position number 9. And Josh Bromfield rounding out our top 10. These drivers, still some good side-by-side battles, some good runs out here for a lot of these cars. See Sean Burke there in 11th, trying to work his way back inside the top 10. Seen some drivers work their way forward, then slide back here. Still, I don't believe... There's Colton Manage back out onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, Colton here is a couple laps down. So a tough break for the 22 ride. No Adam Kilday out there on the racetrack. So a tough break there for Adam as he never jumped out onto the track. Christopher Pilo in the 15 ride in that Spider-Man Pepsi machine. Back in the 17th position, was up inside the top 10 for a little while. It's been sliding back here, so a tough break for Christopher Pilo. You see Johnny Thunder's way down the racetrack as well in the 60 ride. Not sure what's wrong with the 60 machine, but man, he's really far down on the racetrack. As the caution flag is going to fly here, I believe that is the end of stage number 1 as Bud Shearer is going to pick up the first checkered flag of the playoffs here. Bud picking up some playoff points here in the 93 machine. We see Cameron Dario in second, the 81 rider Anthony Garland there in third, Justin Reynolds up into fourth, Matt Redford, Chad Jeffries, Brock Page there in seventh, Christopher Muse, Al Reed, Josh Bromfield rounding out our top 10 in our final playoff point there in this one, going to that 12 machine of Bromfield. Sean Burke, Joshua Benton, Wayne Garland on the outside looking in there. As the top 10 receive playoff points, as stage 1 comes to a close, they're going to head down pit side here. We can get some service done to these cars as we're about a quarter of the way already through this one. Bud Shearer in the 93 has led every lap so far, keeping that 93, the RBS AMR number 93 machine out in front here, looking very, very good. He's going to head down to that first pit stall and get some service done to that car. Matt Redford overdriving his pit stall, so did the 81. That could hurt them here. See the 48 already out. The 93 of Bud Shearer is going to stay out in front, though, as it looked like Christopher Pilo playing some strategy here. Pilo staying out on the racetrack. The 15 ride, the only car not to pit there. Going to save some tires and keep that 15 machine out on the racetrack. So he's going to be restarting this race from the pole position. Bud Shearer will come out in position number 2. Cameron Dario, Johnny Thunders with a good pit stop. He's up into 4th. Anthony Garland, Al Reed, Justin Reynolds, Josh Bromfield picking up a couple spots. Chad Jeffries, Mike Killenbeck rounding out our top 10. Robert Tuiscu there in 11th. Brock Page there in 12th. Christopher Muse, Matt Redford losing a lot of spots there down pit side. Sean Burke, Joshua Benton, Wayne Garland, Jerry Culver, James Garland rounding out our top 19. All of these cars on the lead lap. Colton Manich, I do believe, is a couple laps down here. He should be getting a wave around. Get one of his laps back here for the 22 machine. You also see Christopher Pilo now come down pit side, so tough break there for Pilo, not pitting when everyone else did, and that's going to put him behind the 8 balls. Now he's going to be at the rear of the field here on this restart. That's going to forfeit the lead back to the 93 machine of Bud Shearer. So Shearer back out in front. Cameron Dario there in second, and Anthony Garland there in third. Al Reed's going to line up in fourth with Justin Reynolds there in fifth. Josh Bromfield up into sixth now. Chad Jeffries, Mike Killingbeck, Brock Page there in ninth, and Christopher Muse rounding out our top 10 here when we go back to Green Flag Racing. And it is so spicy in here, Chad. It is hot as heck outside right now. Got this house burning up. It is very hot up here in Canada right now. This is actually kind of crazy how hot it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how hot it is here. That's nuts. That is nuts, chat. All right, as we got these drivers stacked back up and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here. Lights are still on that official iRacing pace car, so we're going to get one more time around here at least, maybe a couple more. We'll have to wait and see here where they line up, as looks like they're going to start to stack up side by side now as the lights, I do believe, turned off the official iRacing pace car this time by. Yes, they are. So we're going to get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here. Stage one is complete. Two more stages left to go before the end of our first playoff race of the series. Going to make for some exciting racing here in this one. The 93 ride trying to stay out in front, trying to get as many stage points as possible, as that's what's going to really help propel one of these drivers into, you know, possibly a non-win playoff berth here for the final 8 cars in the final championship race of the season. As every 2 races here, this race, one more race, and then we're going to drop 4 drivers, the bottom 4 cars, from the playoffs, so they will not have an opportunity to make the final 8. And we're going to do 2 more playoff races. 4 more drivers will be eliminated, and then we're going to have a final 8-car showdown. Everybody will be able to race, but only 8 cars will be racing for the championship. And each one of these drivers is looking to punch their ticket into the next round and help propel themselves into the final round here, as we got them stacked up and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. That official iRacing pace car is going to make the hard left-hand turn back down pit side, and we're going to get ready to set them back loose here at Texas Motor Speedway. Shearer, Dario out in front. A good jump there from the 93 machine, quickly putting that pedal to the metal. The RBS ride out in front, and the 81 right there behind him. Exactly what we saw off the opening start here as well. The 81 machine right there behind the 93, able to slide up into position number 2. But here comes that 94 ride of Justin Reynolds. The great run from the second row here, actually third row, is going to jump up and take position number 2 away from Dario. The 81 ride high up the racetrack there. So the 94, the RBS teammate here, Bud Shearer, now looking down low, trying to take the lead away from his teammate. Bud Shearer up the racetrack is going to forfeit that race lead now to his teammate Justin Reynolds, as Reynolds is our new race leader. Bud Shearer back to second. Here comes Chad Jeffries as well. That the Jetsons number 19 ride right there in position number 3. Now trying to take a look down low on the 93 ride. As Chad Jeffries trying to jump up into position number 2. You see Brock Page with a good run here early on in the second stage as well. So is in the 91. A couple of these RBS rides working their way up towards the front. As Chad Jeffries takes that second spot away, quickly pulling away here from Bud Shearer. Shearer slides back to third now. Brock Page up into fourth. Matt Redford now back up inside the top 5 as Cameron Dario sliding back here. Now getting passed by the 95 ride of Sean Burke, as Burke is going to go by him there in position number 6. Dario already back to position number 7. We see there it is, Anthony Garland slide back to here. Garland all the way back now into the 12th position. So a tough break here for the ORL number 81 ride as he's back into position number 12 on the racetrack. Justin Reynolds out in front, continuing to try to pull away here from Chad Jeffries. Jeffries in second. Brock Page now up into third as the RBS teammates going around there. RBS teammate there in the 93 ride of Bud Shearer. Shearer now losing another spot here to Joshua Benton. Looks like the 84 ride of Wayne Garland going to take a look underneath of him here as well. So you can definitely tell who got tires there under that green or that yellow flag pit stop. Looks like Bud Shearer is going to hold on to a free set of tires. But unfortunately sliding back here quickly in this second stage. Already back into the 8th spot, Al Reed and Christopher Muse right there behind him. Cameron Dario without taking tires back into the 11th position. And Anthony Garland back into position number 18 or number 15 here. So a tough break for a few of these drivers as they've been sliding back through the field, not having the runs they really needed in this one. The laps continue to click off. These guys continue to duke it out in front. It's still the 94 ride of Justin Reynolds, but man, these RBS rides all working their way up towards the front, and the 19 ride of Chad Jeffries, as Jeffries has closed the gap now on that 94 ride. Pulling him in here real quick, but so isn't Brock Page, Matt Redford, and Sean Burke, as Burke up inside the top 5 now as well. The 4 RBS cars up inside the top 4 here. Chad Jeffries, the lone man on the outside looking in the Jetsons ride, trying to jump up here and take this lead away from Justin Reynolds, trying to do everything he can as he's all over the back bumper of that 94 ride. Joshua Benton there in 6th, the Mountain Dew Machine. Wayne Garland with a great run as he's worked himself now up into 7th. The Cheez-Its 99 rider Christopher Muse there in 8th. Bud Shearer still holding on the 9th with James Garland right there behind him. In that 10th spot, Al Reed sliding back to 11th. Johnny Thunders right there in 12th. Is a little bit of contact. Bud Shearer almost going around. He's going to lose a ton of momentum, though, down the backstretch. He's going to lose 3 spots right there. Now back into the 12th position. Al Reed, Johnny Thunders, and James Garland all able to get around him after that little bit of contact. Got him loose. That may kill his tires a little bit more. You see him get super loose there coming out of corner number 4. Tough break here as some of these drivers not taking tires. Really struggling early on here in stage number 2. Justin Reynolds, though, out in front, looking very good still. Once again, trying to open up a couple car length lead here. Now over his teammate as Brock Page is able to jump up and get around the Jetsons. Number 19 rider, Chad Jeffries. Jeffries now under fire as Matt Redford going to go around him on the outside here. And Matt Redford now up inside the top 3. Once again, is that Rothman Chevrolet. Number 71 ride up into 3rd. Chad Jeffries there in 4th now has Sean Burke trying to look underneath of him as they're trying to make it a 1, 2, 3, 4 at the front of the field here for the RBS crew as Burke trying to find his way around Jeffries. Joshua Benton right there in 6th trying to reel them in. Wayne Garland right there as well. Christopher Muse, James Garland, Johnny Thunders rounding out our top 10. Johnny Thunders all over the back bumper there of James Garland. Cameron Dario continuing to slide back now into the 14th position. Anthony Garland back there in 15th. Robert Tuiscu in 16th. Mike Killing back there in 17th. Christopher Pilo in 18th position. We see Jerry Culver there in the 19th spot in that 5 ride. And Colton Manich, fortunately a few laps down for the 22 ride, still out on the racetrack. Sitting actually in a pretty decent position, but a few laps down here. He's going to need a few caution flags to be able to work himself back onto the lead lap. After missing the start of this race, he would be currently sitting in the 15th position. He wasn't so many laps down, so a tough one here for Colton Manich missing the start of this race. As Justin Reynolds continues to lead the way, his teammate Brock Page and Matt Redford right there behind him. Chad Jeffries holding on to 4th, and Sean Burke there in the top 5 as we're going to jump into another Peacemaker Gaming, crank it up. So crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we're going to crank it up here once again on Peacemaker Gaming. All right, as the caution flag coming back out here. I do believe the end of stage number 2 here in this one. End of stage number 2 as the 94 ride of Justin Reynolds is going to pick up that stage 2 win in this one. A good run and a good drive here out of the 94, able to pick up stage win number 2 on the evening. Our final stage coming right up here in a few more moments as these drivers are going to get stacked up behind our official iRacing pace car. We're going to get ready for some pit stops as Matt Redford able to work himself up into second. Brock Page there in third. Chad Jeffries up into fourth. Sean Burke there in fifth. Christopher Muse in sixth. Joshua Benton in seventh. And then we see Wayne Garland in eighth. Johnny Thunders in ninth. And James Garland rounding out our top 10 here. The end of stage number 2. So 50 laps in and 60 more laps left to go here. This next stage, we should see some green flag pit stops unless we see that elusive caution flag for issues on the racetrack, which we may still see. See all these drivers heading down pit side, getting ready to do their pit stops. Matt Redford down here. It is pit stall perfectly this time. You see the 93 ride of Bud Shearer now sliding in, but actually overshooting his pit stall just ever so slightly. He looks like Matt's getting some tires. See these cars getting jacked up here. Bud Shearer getting some tires on that car as well. Stage number 2 about to get underway. These cars getting some work done to their rides. Brock Page out there in 4th as Chad Jeffries, the first car out of pit lane here. So he's going to be our race leader once we go back to green flag racing. Christopher Muse in position number 2. Justin Reynolds in 3rd. Brock Page in 4th. Sean Burke in 5th. James Garland, Matt Redford, Joshua Benton, Josh Bromfield, and Cameron Dario rounding out our top 10 here. When we go back to green flag racing, Al Reed there in the 3 ride. Johnny Thunders in 12th. Wayne Garland in 13th. Bud Shearer, Robert Tuiscu, Anthony Garland, Jerry Culver, Mike Killingbeck, Christopher Pilo, and Colton Manich. He is actually going to head down pit side here, get some work done on that 22 machine. I believe he may get another wave around, get back onto the lead lap, or closer to it, for that 22 machine. As we'll get them all stacked back up and ready to go back to green flag racing. Chad Jeffries out in front. The 99 rider Christopher Muse there in 2nd. Justin Reynolds and Brock Page in 3rd and 4th. That's a couple of these RBS cars up inside the top 5. You see Sean Burke there in 5th. I have to keep an eye out, see if Matt Redford can work his way back up towards the front here as he came out in that 7th position. And then saw Bud Shearer unfortunately slide back there. We saw Cameron Dario, Bud Shearer, and Anthony Garland, who were our top 3 in stage number 1, slide back there, get no stage points here in stage number 2. So we'll have to wait and see. They get those fresh tires on these rides, if they can work their way up through the field and back towards the front here for the end of this one, as we're going to have about 55, 56 laps left to go here when we go back to green flag racing. So I'm sure we're going to see a green flag pit stop here. These drivers will have to come down pit side. And that's where the big question will be, if they're far enough out in front, if they have a big enough lead, do they risk it by short pitting and getting no tires? Or do they put a brand new fresh set of tires on and lay down some crazy fast lap times again? We'll have to wait and see how this all plays out, as only time will tell here in our first playoff race of the series here for the Outcast Racing League. Lights are off the official iRacing pace car, and that means we're going to have them stacked back up and ready to go back green flag racing for our final stage of the night. Chad Jeffries, Christopher Muse, Justin Reynolds, Brock Page, Sean Burke, James Garland, Joshua Benton, Matt Redford, Al Reed, and Josh Bromfield rounding out our top 10. Then we see Johnny Thunders, Cameron Dario, Bud Shearer, Wayne Garland, Anthony Garland, Robert Tuiscu, Mike Killingbeck, Jerry Culver, Christopher Pilo, and Colton Manich rounding out our top 20 as we're going to get ready to set these drivers back loose for their final stage here at Texas Motor Speedway. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that share button, and hit that heckin' follow button. Or if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. The official iRacing pace car makes that hard left-hand turn, and we're going to set them back loose here at Texas Motor Speedway. Chad Jeffries quickly jumping on that loud pedal, putting that throttle down here in this one as the 19 ride down through corner number 1 and 2. You see the 99 of Christopher Muse way up the racetrack. down out of corner number 2. A big run coming out of the 94 ride as Justin Reynolds to the inside now of Chad Jeffries. Jeffries trying to hold on to position number 1, but the 94 ride is going to jump back out in front. Justin Reynolds is our race leader as he takes that lead back away from Chad Jeffries. Sean Burke right there in third, trying to take a look underneath the 19 ride, trying to get around Jeffries here for position number 2. Matt Redford restarted back in 7th, already up into position number 4 here, and he's looking for more as he's looking underneath the 19 ride. Cameron Dario started on the outside of the top 10, now back up inside the top 6 here, trying to jump inside the top 5 as he looks underneath the 99. Christopher Muse just barely saves that 99 ride, very loose. See Bud Shearer right there as well. Bud has a brand new set of tires, so does that 84 or the 48 ride. They are working their way back through the traffic, back through the field here towards the front. There are a couple of drivers on a mission here trying to get up at the front of the field here, already working their way just inside the top 5 or just on the outside is already the 48 ride. Is tracked down the 19 of Chad Jeffries. Jeffries has a rear view mirror full of that 48 ride. So he looks down to the inside here. He's going to make that pass for position number 4. And he's going to bring Bud Shearer right along with him as the 19 tracks up the racetrack. Al Reed there in 6th, following these guys right on through the field. One driver down the racetrack here, just barely saving that ride. That's the ORL number 84 ride of Wayne Garland, almost going for a spill there down the backstretch. Somehow holds on to that car but loses a few spots as Jerry Culver, Anthony Garland, and Mike Killingbeck were able to get around him. Johnny Thunders on the outside of a top 10 here. As you see Christopher Muse still sliding back as well. Brock Page in the 92 ride sliding back as well. He was our points leader coming into this first playoff race. Now back in the 13th position. So a tough break here for the 92 as he slid quite a ways back throughout the field as Sean Burke out in front now as he takes the lead away from Justin Reynolds. Reynolds sliding back into 2nd. Matt Redford there in 3rd. And now Bud Shearer back inside the top 5, up into 4th. As it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 right now for the RBS crew as the RBS racing team now sitting in the top 4 positions. Cameron Dario and that Alex Bowman Ally number 48 ride there in 5th. Al Reed right behind him in that digitalmotorsports.com number 3 ride, currently in 6th. On the outside of a top 5 looking in, Chad Jeffries sliding back to 7th. 69 ride of Joshua Benton there in 8th. Josh Bromfield there in 9th. And Robert Tuiscu now up inside the top 10 here as Johnny Thunders there in 11th. Mike Killingbeck there in 12th. And Anthony Garland up into 13th. Wayne Garland right there behind him as Wayne been able to pick up a couple more spots after almost going around down the backstretch there not too long ago as Brock Page continues to slide back here. Christopher Pilo now looking to the inside here of the 92. Christopher Muse there behind him. The 22 ride of Colton Manage, unfortunately a couple laps down there going around the 99 ride. Jerry Culver there in 18th. James Garland fortunately a lap down here for the 37 machine. Colton Manage a couple laps down as well as Sean Burke out in front here as RBS out in front. 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now on the racetrack. These drivers all starting to show why they're the best in the league here, why they're some of the best drivers out here on the sim in these NASCAR Next Gen rides as they're laying down some crazy fast lap times, even still with some lower tires, not as many good clean laps on them. Sean Burke out in front, Justin Reynolds right there in 2nd, Matt Redford into 3rd, and there's Bud Shearer up into 4th here, slowly but surely tracking down his teammates up here at the front. The 93 ride is going to be looking to try to jump back up and take this lead away once again as he led a lot of laps early on in this one. Stage number 1, unfortunately slid back there with old tires in stage number 2, but here he is with some fresh tires working his way up through the field here in our final stage of our first playoff race of the series. They work their way around the 37 ride of James Garland, putting him another lap down here. A tough break for the 37 ride as he slides back. That's going to kind of create a little bit of a wake here, a little bit of a tough run here for some of these drivers up in our top four, trying to get around him as you see Matt Redford now having to jump down to the bottom side. The 93 ride trying to follow him right on through. Kind of spreading them out just ever so slightly here. See Cameron Dario, our 5th place driver, starting to reel them in a little bit as they had some issues trying to get around the 37 ride. John Burke, though, still out in front. Burke continuing to lead the way, continuing to show these drivers how to get it done in this one. Justin Reynolds right there in second. Matt Redford, Bud Shearer, and Cameron Dario rounding out our top 5. Almost throw a blanket here over our top 5 drivers, all within about, what are we about? Oh, about a second and a bit between each other here. Now Reed back there in position number 6. Joshua Benton having a great run in the Mountain Dew number 69 right there in 7th. Josh Bromfield there in 8th, trying to hold off the Coca-Cola number 6 ride of Robert Tuiscu, as Tuiscu trying to find his way around that 12 machine. Johnny Thunders trying to hold on to 10th here as Anthony Garland trying to find his way around that 60 ride up on the high side here. Got to get some good laps, trying to find himself back up inside the top 10. Christopher Pilo back to a 12th position here. Wayne Garland behind him. You see the 22 ride of Colton Manich. A couple laps down there in the 20th position. Also see Mike Killingbeck, unfortunately down pit side. Some heavy front end damage there for Mike Killingbeck. Not too sure what happened here to Mike, but some heavy front end damage. Parked down pit side in that Lawrence Tech number 70 ride, so a tough break here for Mike Killingbeck as he gets some work done, some repairs on that ride. Is out in front. It's still Justin Reynolds jumping back out in front, as Sean Burke sliding all the way back now to that 4th position. As Matt Redford is able to work his way around a bunch here in the 93 now, up into 3rd here. Cameron Dario trying to jump up and break up this top 4 battle here, as it's all RBS 1, 2, 3, and 4 out there on the racetrack. Cameron Dario would love to jump up there and jump into that 4th, 3rd position here and break up this RBS 1, 2, 3, 4 finish. See James Garland right there behind them. Unfortunately, a lap down for the 37 ride. Justin Reynolds out in front once again, holding down the fort here. Yo, Kenny Wall, Sour Patch Raid, let's go. Sour Patch Raid, let's get it. The lemon heads up in here. Yo, behold the lemons, my girl. Hopefully you had yourself a wonderful stream. Hopefully you had yourself a wonderful, Sunday midday matinee. I'm not sure what you were playing. I know I tuned in for a quick second. I can't even remember what you were playing, but hopefully you were having yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. A wonderful stream, Kenny. Hopefully that was enjoyable to watch, as the caution flag is going to fly here in this one. See the smoke out and about. Our official iRacing pace car jumping out onto the racetrack, as it looks like Christopher Pilo. Fortunately, the 15 ride going to go around here. Looks like he just kind of loses it here out of corner number 2. That car loses traction up into the outside wall hard. Into that inside wall, a lot of damage to the front end of the 15 machine. I do believe that may end the evening here. The 15 ride, as man, oh man, a hard hit right there. We're going to jump right on board here. The helmet cam here. It's that inside wall that just, oh man. We're going to get a quick replay of that one once again here, as see him go through corner number 2 here and just rear end steps out, overcorrects it up into the outside wall, but unfortunately he's just hanging on as the car washes down the racetrack. Body panels, front nose cone, everything flying off this race car. A tough break as he's parked down pit side with a lot of heavy damage. So this may be the break that a lot of these drivers needed. You see Bud Shearer coming back out from pit side here. Al Reed down there as well. Josh Bromfield, Anthony Garland, Chad Jeffries. Some pit strategy coming into play here. Brock Page down there as well, our points leader. Wayne Garland there as well. So we'll have to wait and see what all plays out here. As Man, oh man, oh man, that's a tough break. That's going to throw a wrench into some of this pit strategy for a lot of these drivers in this one. Justin Reynolds staying out on the racetrack. Matt Redford as well. Cameron Dario, Johnny Thunders, all staying out on the racetrack. I do believe Sean Burke may be the first driver that came down pit side, maybe fuel only. Joshua Benton coming out in second out of pit side. Bud Shearer in position number 7 there, also coming down pit side, maybe getting some fresh tires, maybe getting some fuel, maybe trying to figure out a way to make it to the end of this one without having to come back down pit side to really save themselves a lot of lap time out there. We'll have to wait and see. I don't even know how many laps we got left in this one. This is lap number 74, so yeah, that's actually kind of right on their line there of they can make it to the end now, going down, getting their final pit stop in under the caution flag. That's exactly what they may have needed to make it to the end of this race. Some of these other drivers that stayed out, maybe trying to stretch it, thinking they may be able to make it all the way down to the very end. We'll have to wait and see. All right, as the lights turn off that official iRacing pace car, we're going to get ready to stack them back up and go back to green flag racing here. We're going to get ready to set them loose. We're going to jump right on board here with Cameron Dario and the Ally 48 Chevrolet. So we're going to get a little bit of sights and sounds here on this restart as we're going to get close to the end of this one. The laps continue to click off, quickly coming to a close on our first playoff race of the series. All right, you can hear him drop a gear there. Down in gear number 1, he's letting that thing scream here. Down in the first gear, we're going to see the green flag come back out as they hit the Geico restart zone. It's all over the throttle, right on the back bumper there. You can hear him go through the gears. Already up to full speed down the backstretch here as they quickly slip through the gears here in that 48 ride. Cameron Dario trying to jump up into position number 2 as he looks down low underneath of Matt Redford here for position number 2 on the racetrack. Gonna break up this RBS finish at the front of the field as quickly Bud Shearer already back up inside the top 4 here, and he's looking for more. He's not done yet as the 93 ride all over the back bumper of his teammate in the 71 ride. Matt Redford getting a good shove, a little bit of a draft down the backstretch here to hold on to position number 2, and Bud Shearer up there on the high side, trying to work his way to the outside now, the 48 Ally Chevrolet there as he's going to jump up into third now, jumping all the way down to the bottom side of the racetrack to take over position number 2 from Matt Redford as Bud Shearer working his way through the field here in a quick hurry. Trying to get up towards the front and already up to the back bumper here of our race leader as he's going to take a look down to the inside here. He's going to make that pass. Some contact hard up into the outside wall. Our race leaders get taken out. Robert Duiscu up there. Brock Page, our points leader, collected in this one as well as the caution flag is going to fly. Some contact between teammates in the big one here at Texas Motor Speedway. A lot of heavy contact, some big hits down here. And 3 RBS drivers getting collected in this one. We're going to take a look back and see what happens as man, oh man, that was massive right there and a tough break here. As Bud Shearer jumped up trying to take the lead away. Looked like the 94 just kind of getting down low here, trying to block it just ever so slightly. You get a good look at this one. Bud's going to jump down to the bottom side. Looks like the 94 is down the racetrack just a little bit. Gets into his right rear quarter panel, spins him up into the outside wall. You see that rear end bust. You see the 6-ride drive in there. The 92, a great job there from Johnny Thunders to avoid the contact there in that one. Man, some heavy hits here. Some huge contact out there on the racetrack. Brock Page, unfortunately, nowhere to go. He gets collected in this as well. Contact there at the 6th ride. They both wash up the racetrack. Some heavy damage there to the Coca-Cola Jack Daniels ride in the 92 ride. Bucked up RBS machine. See if we can jump on board here with Johnny Thunders and see what he sees from the gyro. Actually, let's jump right onto the cockpit view here. See them racking up in front of him here. Still wrecking, getting onto the binders here to avoid it. Just nothing but smoke and carnage right there in front of him. Gets that car checked up and avoids any additional contact, so a good job there. Well, him, as we'll take another look at this one and jump right on board here again with the 93 machine. You can see that car up in the air here. We'll see this damage right here. Right there's the contact, spins him up the wall. Huge contact there for the 94 ride as well. So the big one happening here in this one, and two of our race leaders and our points leader all getting caught up in that one as Brock Page parked down pit side, Bud Shearer parked down pit side here. A lot of damage to these rides. Robert Duiscu somehow still out there on the racetrack. Christopher Pilo off the track. Mike Killingbeck getting some repairs done still to that ride. So we'll get them all stacked back up and ready to go back to green flag racing. It's Al Reed out in front here. Reed leads the way in that 3 machine. Josh Bromfield in second, Chad Jeffries in third, Christopher Muse in fourth, Wayne Garland now in fifth, Matt Redford in position number 6 with Cameron Dario there in 7th. All right, as the lights are turned off, that official iRacing pace car, we're going to get ready to set them back loose here. after the big one happened there in corner number 3 and 4. A couple of our top drivers getting collected in that one. A lot of heavy damage, a lot of heavy hits. Unfortunately, they're still parked down pit side. Brock Page still down there. Bud Shearer back out onto the racetrack, so good to see Bud back out here. I'm not sure Bud looks like he is actually a couple laps down here. So a tough break for the 93 ride as he was looking to try to take the lead away, trying to pull away with this race win. That contact between him and the 94 ride of Justin Reynolds spun him around and up into the outside wall, and heavy damage there now at the rear of the field and a couple laps down. Sean Burke still on the lead lap there. Justin Reynolds still on the lead lap as well in the 94 ride. We got him stacked back up and ready to go back to green flag racing. Al Reed, Josh Bromfield, Christopher Muse, Chad Jeffries, Matt Redford, Wayne Garland, Cameron Dario, Jerry Culver, Joshua Benton, Robert Tuisku round out our top 10 here as the green flag is back out in the air at Texas Motor Speedway. Yo, Steven, what is good? Steven McPeak coming in, showing the love. Hey, how are you? I am good, Steven. How you doing, my boy? Steven coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube Gaming. How you doing, my boy? Hope you're having yourself a wonderful evening. Man, oh man, oh man, some great racing action underway in this one as Al Reed now out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done as the laps continue to click off here. Lap by lap by lap quickly. This one's coming to a close here. Christopher Muse there in second in the 99 ride. Matt Redford now up into third. Chad Jeffries there in fourth as he works his way around Josh Bromfield in that 12 ride. The 48 machine of Cameron Dario battling side by side here with Wayne Garland for position number 6 on the racetrack. Wayne down low here, but the 12 ride getting checked up a little bit there in front of him as you see Sean Burke, the 95 back there in the 8th position. Joshua Benton there in 9th. Robert Tuisku there in 10th. Justin Reynolds back in the 11th spot as Johnny Thunders there in 12th. Jerry Culver there in 13th, having a nice solid run in the 81 ride. Anthony Garland, unfortunately, a lap down as well in the 81 machine. Bud Shearer a lap down as well. James Garland down a lap or so here in this one. Brock Page still off the racetrack, parked down pit side. Mike Killenbeck back out onto the racetrack, but a few laps down. So is Colton Manage. Christopher Pilo off the racetrack there in the 15 ride after a heavy hit for him down the backstretch as Al Reed continues to lead the way as we're going to jump into our final. Peacemaker Gaming, crank it up. So crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we're going to crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. the laps continue to click off here, lap by lap by lap, to get closer to the checkered flag. These drivers putting on a great show for us. You see Rob Burke still trying to hold off that 99 ride of Christopher Muse. Sean Burke there in fifth. Muse trying to find a way around him here. It's Matt Redford out in front. Redford taking this lead away from Al Reed. Reed sliding back to position number 2 in that 3 machine. Reed now into second. Chad Jeffries there in third as Cameron Dario right there behind him as the 48 ride. The Ally, number 48, Chevrolet, trying to find his way up inside the top 3 here, all over the back bumper here of the Jetsons 19 machine. Chad Jeffries. Sean Burke back there in 5th. Christopher Muse in 6th. Joshua Benton there in 7th. Josh Bromfield there in 8th. Wayne Garland and Robert Tuiscu rounding out our top 10 here in this one. Justin Reynolds there in 11th. After leading so many laps and unfortunately making that contact with his teammates, some hard contact into the outside wall. You gotta imagine that car is still feeling some pretty heavy damage there. Now some tough breaks in this one for the 94 ride. Jerry Culver up into 12th here as he makes the pass on the 60 ride of Johnny Thunders. As Thunders back into 13th. Anthony Garland there in 14th. Bud Shearer there in the 15th position in that 93 ride. James Garland unfortunately parked down pit side now. Mike Killingbeck out on the racetrack a few laps down. Colton managed a few laps down as well. Brock Page, our points leader, coming into this race, unfortunately off the racetrack, done for the evening. Same with Christopher Pilo and Adam Kilday. They're both, all 3 of them are off the racetrack, loaded back up onto the hauler, and their nights are over. Matt Redford out in front now with a 2.2 second lead here. The 71 ride, that Rothman's Chevrolet numbered 71 out in front, looking to pick up the checkered flag in our first race of the playoffs. Trying to punch his ticket into the next round as Cameron Dario now past the 19 ride of Chad Jeffries and making the pass now on the 3 machine of Al Reed as Reed's going to slide back to 3rd in that 3 ride. Going to try to battle back strong here on the bottom side as that Digital Motorsports number 3 machine there in 3rd. Sean Burke still holding on to 5th in the RBS ride as his RBS teammate Matt Redford out in front. At one point in time, we had 4 or 5 of these RBS rides up inside the top 5. Now they're kind of spread up and all over the place after a couple of them getting tied up and together. That big wreck we saw in corner number 3 and 4. A lot of heavy damage between our race leader Bud Shearer and our second place driver Justin Reynolds. Neither of them have been able to recover from that wreck. Brock Page is taking that ride off the racetrack. So a tough break for a few of those RBS rides, having a good run here tonight in this one. Now not having the run they needed to start their playoff hopes. It's Matt Redford out in front. We see a driver down low, a little bit of smoke there. No caution flag. I do believe that was that Johnny Thunders? No, that wasn't Johnny Thunders. Who was that? That was James Garland, maybe? Not sure who that was down low. There it is. It's the 37 ride of James Garland. Still with some damage on that ride. Fortunately, they head back down pit side here, get some more work done. The 37 machinist. Redford continues to lead the way, now out to about a 2.6 second lead over Cameron Dario as Dario there in second. Al Reed's now going to lose position number 3 to Chad Jeffries. Going to try to battle back strong here on the outside, but Jeffries and Reed battle side by side for position number 3. That's exactly what Cameron Dario wants to see, is that's going to allow him to pull away from those 2. John Burke sees them battling side by side. Would love to jump up there and be able to try to work that RBS AMR Paints number 95 ride up into position number 3 here, but now they're single file once again at the front of the field. See Bud Shearer still with a very fast car has worked his way technically into what would be the 6th position, but being a couple laps down, unfortunately. not in that 6th spot, currently being scored in 15th position, but still showing a lot of speed, but a couple laps down. Unfortunately, not going to be able to recover unless if we get a bunch of late race caution flags here, but with 5 more laps left to go, that's looking very, very bleak out here in this one. At a corner number 4, we're going to see the 71 ride with 4 more laps left to go here around Texas Motor Speedway. 4 more laps till we crown our first race winner of these playoffs. It's the playoffs underway here for the ORL, the Outcast Racing League playoff, round number 1, race number 1 here. Matt Redford looking to punch his ticket into round number 2 right now. He wants to have some breathing room next Sunday as he heads down. Gets 3 more laps left to go here. 3 more laps for Matt Redford. A great run as well for that Ally 48 Chevrolet of Cameron Dario as he's there in 2nd. Chad Jeffries there in 3rd. Sean Burke now jumping up into that 4th position as Al Reed slides back to 5th. Josh Bromfield with a good run as well as the 12 ride there in 6th. Christopher Muse there in 7th and 99 ride. And Robert Tuwiscu up into 8th. Joshua Benton there in 9th, battling side by side here with Justin Reynolds as Reynolds worked his way now back inside the top 10 here. Fortunately, a car that could have been able to win as you see the 6th ride get super loose there, get up into the outside wall just ever so slightly. He's going to lose a lot of momentum. That's going to allow Justin Reynolds and Joshua Benton both to get around that 6th machine. Now Benton up the racetrack pretty high there. It's going to open up the door for the 6th ride back down underneath of them as they duke it out back here for the 8th and 9th position on the racetrack. Actually, that's 9th and 10th. Jerry Colbert there in 11th on the outside of a top 10 looking in. Johnny Thunders and Wayne Garland as we're going to see the white flag fly one more time around here. The 71 ride as it looked like Colton managed up into the outside wall ever so slightly there. About a 3-second lead down the backstretch into corner number 3. And down out of corner number 4, it's the Rothman Chevrolet number 71 ride of Matt Redford, the RBS machine, coming home with the first checkered flag of the Outcast Racing League playoffs here in this one. Redford getting the checkered flag here at Texas Motor Speedway. He's going to park that ride up here in victory lane. Cameron Dario coming home in position number 2, and Chad Jeffries in that 3rd spot. Sean Burke in position number 4, and Josh Bromfield rounding out our top 5. Al Reed, Christopher Muse, Justin Reynolds, Joshua Benton, and Robert Tuwiscu rounding out our top 10. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up here for the 71 machine of Matt Redford as he picks up the checkered flag here in this one. What a run and what a race there for Mr. Redford as he's going to burn down the house here at Texas Motor Speedway. Going to do that burnout down here on the front stretch. Excited to be down here in victory lane. He is going to punch his ticket into the next round of the playoffs. A little bit of breathing room for him next Sunday as he's locked into the next round. The points will continue to funnel in through our stages and everything else. But you see that 71 ride burning it down here. We're going to jump up into the broadcast booth, bring in our race winner here in just a few more moments. But what we can do is bring in our 3rd place finisher as the number 19 rider, Chad Jeffries, coming home here in that 3rd position. We're going to bring Chad Jeffries up here into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview as Matt Redford continues to run down the field here. Actually, we're going to bring our race winner right up here into the broadcast booth right away. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up here for Matt Redford, our race winner here, winning this race, parking that number 71 ride down here in victory lane. We're going to pull him up into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview. Hey, Matt, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
I do indeed. How are you?
Matt, I'm not doing too bad, my boy, but I feel like you're doing a lot better as we see you burning down the house here at Texas Motor Speedway. You get the victory here in the first race of the playoffs. Man, how does it feel to be parked down here in victory lane and being able to celebrate down there with yourself and the team for that 71 ride?
Well, it's a bit of a bittersweet moment here, considering Oh, there goes the car. Uh, Considering, half a team, I think, got taken out by ourselves. We were looking really pretty, and then a little accident occurred that I've not really had a chance to look at, but kind of left the door open for me, so I'm not really going to complain much, but it's a bit unfortunate for the team.
Absolutely a tough break there, as it looked like the 93 of Butch here was trying to make the pass to take the lead back away from the 94 ride of Justin Reynolds. Reynolds kind of came down a little bit. They made a little bit of contact, and they both went up into that outside wall, and unfortunately, Brock Page got collected in that one as well, as he was sitting pretty here to start this playoff series with a 7-point lead. Unfortunately, finishing back there in 19th is really going to hurt his odds here. He's going to have a great show next Sunday, but one driver that isn't going to have to worry too much about points or anything else next Sunday is yourself. As you get the win here, you lock yourself in to the next round of the playoffs. Man, take us back through this race, how it all unfolded, how you ended up here in victory lane with so many good drivers there in front of you. We saw a late race caution flag there kind of coming out about 15, 20 laps. A green flag run there. You worked your way through the field from 7th back up towards the front here, slowly clicking them off, and from that point on, you never looked back. You got the lead. You ran away with this one out to a 2.7 second lead here over Cameron Dario to finish this one off.
That was a long question. So my entire race strategy kind of went out the window on lap 1 when Anthony gave me a little love tap, just a nice little smooch on the rear bumper, and that destroyed my tires. And I had to take tires in the stage 1, and then we didn't pit at the end of I think it was a caution about lap 60, which looked like it was a bad call because we don't know when the next caution was come out, but then obviously the team had a little bit of a mental breakdown there. And it was just like ebb and flow throughout the race of I can probably win this to, I probably lost this race to I can win this to I've lost this. And it was just, don't know, the last 30 laps I was just trying to save as much as possible, trying to maintain a good distance. And thankfully I think Cam burned a little bit too much of his tires, just trying to get past the field as well. So just had the pace.
Absolutely, man. That's what it's all about, is just, keeping your tires underneath of you, keeping that car straight as possible, and not burning those tires off is, trying to work yourself through the traffic and everything else. As we saw you work your way through the field really quickly there after that final restart. You're able to work yourself up towards the front. You only had a few cars to pass under the green flag conditions. You made it look very easy out there getting around them, as you just waited for them to kind of make a little bit of a mistake, go a little high on the racetrack, open up the bottom side for you, get that car glued down there on the white line to be able to make those passes and work yourself back into the front of the field here and pick up this checkered flag. Matt, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on a great run. And who would you like to thank here for such a strong performance and great finish here in this one?
Don't really know. Shout out to the team. I guess I always like racing with these boys. They're great crack. We had a bit of a joke throughout the race about how I wasn't able to actually make a pit stop correctly. I lost 6 places every time. They make the races an absolute pleasure to drive with. And yeah, shout out to yourself for giving me another race replay to watch.
Absolutely, my boy. A great run and a great drive, man. We saw a lot of action there for the 71 ride. As you said, there was a lot of ups, there was lots of downs. You were kind of bouncing around here. We saw the contact on the opening lap. We saw those pit stops that you were talking about where, you overshot your pit stall, had to throw her in reverse and back up, and lost all those positions down pit road. And somehow or another, throughout all the mayhem and all the carnage and all the, small little mistakes that, kind of all add up for most people through these races, here you are at the end of it down here in Victory Lane. It's got to feel, pretty good that you're able to get the job done out there on the racetrack. Maybe not down pit side, but keeping your strategy, keeping your head above you, and just continue to hit your marks and keep that car pointed towards the right direction.
Yeah, car felt nice, and then occasionally car felt terrible. So hopefully next week it's not going to be this bad. But what's next week? Is it Pocono?
Yes, I do believe that's where it is. Yeah.
Oh, I love Pocono, so that's going to be fun.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing that one. Matt, congrats on the race win here at Texas Motor Speedway, my boy.
Thank you very much.
Don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane, but enjoy the first win of the playoffs.
Thank you very much.
Beauty, have yourself a wonderful night.
You too, mate. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Matt Redford, our race winner, picking up the checkered flag here in this one. A great run and a great drive there as he gets the job done in this one. I don't see Cameron Dario. up in the broadcast booth. So it looks like we're going to pull in our third place finisher now. The 19 ride of Chad Jeffries up into the broadcast booth. We're going to pull Chad up here for his post-race interview. Hey, Chad, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Chad, my boy, a great run, a great drive. We saw that Jensen's throwback paint scheme, up at the front of the field here, running some good laps, battling with a lot of fast cars, and late in this one, able to get up there, get on top of the wheel, get around Al Reed, and jump into that third spot on the racetrack, and being able to bring that car home in a top 3 situation after, we saw quite a bit of mayhem unfold. A lot of drivers, unfortunately, getting caught up in a couple of wrecks out there. You're able to avoid all the action on the racetrack. Just a nice, solid, steady race, and here you are up on a podium finish here for the first race of the playoffs, man. It's got to feel pretty dang good.
Yeah, it really does feel good. I was admittedly a part of all that mayhem. I know I got loose and burned the right rear off midway through the race and ruined Mike Killenbeck's race, so I apologize to him. But no, this car and this team that I'm on, these Misfits guys, we've been grinding all season long just to try to get as many points as we can. So it feels good to come out of here with a good finish for those guys today.
Absolutely, man. A great run and a great finish here for yourself as the playoffs get underway. This is exactly what you were looking for. Just a good, solid top 3 run and, keeping that car towards the front of the field here late in this one, getting as much points as possible and, setting yourself up for, hopefully a transfer spot next week into the second round of these playoffs.
Yeah, admittedly, I have to buy Pocono, but I should be able to adjust and adapt pretty quick to that track. Legacy Pocono is a good time, so I feel confident that we'll be fine going into round 2. As long as we can keep the car clean, as we have pretty much all season long, we should be fine.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to that one. But, Chad, who would you like to thank here today for such a great run and a great drive as you park that 19 ride up here on the podium here at Texas Motor Speedway?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank Jonathan Ramos. He runs the NR Night in America for this paint scheme and the suggestion. It's a really slick looking ride. I'd like to thank James Garland for, picking me to run with Misfits. And Anthony Garland for putting together a really good league. We started off pretty rough, but these last few weeks of racing have been really good. And of course, my family at home who supports all my racing, even if it's kind of silly. But they're behind me all the way. So, thanks to all those people.
Beauty. Well, Chad, congrats on the top 3 run, man, and we look forward to seeing you back out here next Sunday at Pocono, and hopefully we'll see you up here once again in the broadcast booth.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Beauty, have yourself a wonderful night, and congrats on the top 3 finish.
All right. Hey, man. You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Chad Jeffries as he comes home in position number 3 here in this one. Unfortunately, still don't see Cameron Dario out here in the broadcast booth here or anything else. I don't see him in the Discord, so unfortunately no post-race interview for our second place finisher here in this one. But ladies and gentlemen, what a run, what a race, what a finish here by all these drivers, man. A great show and a great broadcast once again. Unfortunately though, we're going to be calling it there on that note, man. Thank you all for tuning in, man. A wicked race, a wicked show. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. We got one more big race later on tonight, around 8:30 Eastern time, so in about 3 hours, we're going to go back to Green Flag Racing. We got the Great White North 358 Modifieds. Back to the dirt track racing here in just a little bit, so hopefully we'll see you guys out there for that one. Hopefully we see another great turnout and a great show once again. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this race. A huge congratulations to all these drivers putting on a great show and a great finish here in this one. And I'll see you guys all later on tonight. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out, baby. Woo! What a race. What a show.
Je